of the fiber arts from the heart of the Ozarks.
Ta-da! Hi! Hello! Welcome to the Knitworthy podcast. Today is Friday, August 8th, 2014, and this is episode 11. Hello! You know what? We are in double digits now.
Can you believe it?
I know! I'm so excited.
I know, it's great.
We weren't sure how long this would actually happen. We were like, we're happy if it goes for 3 episodes or 7 episodes, and here we are at 11. Our baby is growing up.
Yes. And we were only going to do every 2 weeks, so it would have taken us a while to hit 11.
It would have. You're right. You know what? I'm going to pause right now because I love you. You have a little bit of lipstick on your teeth.
I'd do this.
There you go. That's better. You got it.
Oh, I end up grooming every time in front of camera.
Well, I just wanted to tell you that way you weren't up here like this. Oh, look at this. And then, you had lipstick. It's
you know what?
I love you.
Some episode I should black out a tooth. Just for fun.
Yes. I guess you could.
Just forget when I said that.
Yeah.
It'll be a surprise later.
That's right. We do have some surprises up our sleeves, though.
Oh, boy, we do.
We can't tell you, though, because otherwise they wouldn't be surprises.
That's right.
I have a hard time explaining this to my 4-year-old right now. It's, it's a mystery to 4-year-olds why we have surprises that we can't tell.
And, not everyone's like me, who you can tell them a surprise, and then, a day too later, I'm like, oh, a surprise again.
Oh, what is this? This amazing thing I've heard nothing about.
Wasn't it I'm trying to think, this is really gloating because it makes it sound like I'm Einstein, but wasn't it Einstein who couldn't remember some basic things?
Yeah.
Because all of it was, he used his memory space for really important things. So
right.
This, completely full of knitting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anything non-knitting doesn't stick.
And really, some of the things that random trivia that we don't actually need to remember, you can look that up on Google.
The multiplication tables, come on.
Yeah. The sevens are hard for me for some reason. I don't know why. I'm 7, 14, 21.
Yeah.
28? Is that right? I'm pretty sure it is. But anyways,
all the teachers out there are cringing.
I know. I'm sorry, teachers.
Yeah, but I did get 100% when I was tested on it originally.
Did you really?
It just didn't stick into my brain long enough.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I did good. I did good in school. Oops.
There are some podcasters out there who talk, and I'm like, you are so eloquent and so. Everything that you say, I want to write down in my journal because it's life transforming. We're really not that podcast.
We're not quotable.
Not in good ways.
I was thinking this week I was looking at doing a podcast button, and I was trying to figure out how to do unprofessional. I'm loving it. I don't know. Would that fly? I'd wear it.
Well, so would I, but we're proud of that. I don't know.
It may not go over, but I'm seriously thinking we need a podcast button.
We do. Would you guys like a podcast button?
I want one. Is that why I'm just saying it? Because I thought, wouldn't it be fun to have a button?
I think it would be fun.
I just shouldn't buy 1 million of them.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Maybe we could start with 20.
That's true. That's true. We'll gauge interest and see.
It just occurred to me.
What?
The tops of milk jugs.
Yes.
I could decorate them.
Okay.
And have the kids glue pin backs on them.
There you go. We're going low tech here, people. That is.
Oh,
what?
We forgot something.
What did we forget?
We haven't introduced ourselves.
Oh! Would you like to know who we are? I know that for those of you who have been with us for quite a while, you know who we are. But there are new people who are watching, I'm sure. My name is Brianne, also known as BeingBrianne, and this is my gorgeous mother.
Hi, I'm Linda, also known as Stoneybrooke on social media.
On social media. Specifically, you can find us by those names on Ravelry and Instagram, because that's pretty much where we hang out.
Did you see that Sylvia Share commented on the fact that she thought I got it the first time and she was a little disappointed?
You know.
I didn't stumble over it. It's only because I practiced it for a very long time. I'm Linda. Also known as
Stoneybrooke. Well, anyways, if you have been here before, we're so glad that you came back. Thanks for joining us. We have a lot of fun, as you can tell.
Yes. We will actually get to knitting content.
We really do, I promise. And if you are new, I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome. Welcome to our home. Welcome to our podcast. And welcome to the craziness that is Knitworthy Podcast. Now, Mother.
Yes.
I see that you are wearing something beautiful. What are you wearing?
I am wearing... I forgot.
It's right here
on
the show notes.
Knit Night. Oh, I
Yay.
knew that. It's actually, I finished it. Would that be yesterday or the day before?
I think it was yesterday because
yeah,
blocked
on the floor and everything.
It looked
wonderful.
Great.
So you know what I've decided?
What did you decide?
I love the pattern, but I'm pretty sure I did the entire thing wrong.
Like how much of the entire thing are we talking about?
Well, could be the entire thing.
Like from cast on or from
maybe from cast on.
It's now her very own pattern.
I think it is. Because let me see if I can find what I'm talking about. I was going to try and hide the areas that I think are not. Okay. First of all, it is if you haven't seen Knit Night, which wouldn't surprise me because not everyone's knit it, it is, well, first of all, meant to be a fabulous pattern you can knit while you're at a knit night or some other conversational event. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to think about it a lot. Apparently, I should have thought about it more. So it is a kind of like one of those choose your own adventure books.
Yeah.
So you choose how you want to begin and you choose, well, I guess if it's that, then I'm just fine because I chose my own path.
Yes, you did.
And so I chose the Picot cast on, which would be the part of the shawl. Well, I don't know. I'm guessing it's this side. Let's just say this is the cast on side here.
Okay.
You start in the middle and you're going back and forth and you keep continuing until you've got the length where you want it or based on how much yarn you have. Mm-hmm. And she says to leave 20%. I did want to show Flying Kettle Red Cap yarns. Look at how that did a cool thing.
Really beautiful.
I mean, that's like progressive diagonals. I love that.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yes. And so I decided, one of our listeners said she had done the eyelet.
Oh, yeah.
And so I thought, I'll be brave. I said last time I wouldn't do it because I didn't think it needed it.
Right.
But I thought, what does it hurt? I'll do the eyelet. So that's this part. I don't know. Can you see? How do I do this?
I think
my fingers
get a little bit get a little bit closer.
Still hard to see. I need a background.
That's a little bit better.
Oh, here.
There you go.
Okay, so eyelets. Now you see here they are close to the picot edge, which is how I saw it in the picture.
Sure.
But when you get to the middle, first of all, I thought I was running out of yarn, so I decided to do a progressively increasing picot edge on here. So you can see the picots are pretty far apart on this edge. And I didn't think I would care because there's so many on the other side, but look how far away the eyelets are here.
Yeah.
I think they're supposed to be closer.
Maybe.
So then I wondered, was I supposed to be doing the eyelets as I was doing the first cast on edge? Because then I'd be placing them as I'm making the length of the shawl and they would always be exactly in the same spot. As opposed to at the end where I'm always trying to make up length. This is not making sense.
I don't know. So not only is this a what you're wearing, this is an off the needles, and it's also an are you kidding me?
Yeah, and it's really more am I kidding me? Because I think I just think that the way it was written for my brain was a little bit challenging just because everything is very component oriented, and I couldn't always tell where am I doing this. So there's because there is several for each style of this scarf, there's several choices to be made.
Right.
And she wrote clearly, it's just, I'm not sure that my brain comprehended how to do it. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just knitting.
You still like it.
I love it, actually.
Yeah.
And I think it's fun. The only thing I asked Brianne this morning, she said, I don't know. And I'm pretty sure I can't live with that. I asked her, what do I wear this with? So I wore it with just plain gray this morning to be.
You could wear it with a white shirt. I know you don't do a lot of white, but
I don't.
You could do it with a white shirt.
It would look nice with white, probably. But I saw at Target online they had a hot pink.
That could be very cute.
And how often have you seen me in hot pink?
Pretty much never.
I mean, just an accent, that's all I ever do.
Right.
And I thought, would I buy the hot pink shirt and I would feel fabulous but never choose to wear it out of my closet? That's what I'm not sure. You're yawning again, aren't you?
I am.
Because I woke you up, didn't I?
No, you did not wake me up. You know what? We co-sleep with my 4-year-old, and he was up a lot last night. I'm sorry. It's not totally not you.
Okay.
It is not you either.
Even though I texted you at 2 in the morning?
She did. And it happened to catch when I was returning from the bathroom with a 4-year-old. And so I was like, what is
Me and the 4-year-old, we're in sync.
You are.
Yeah.
Maybe he should sleep with you.
Brilliant. I've tried.
He's
But
a hard
how come?
He's a hard kid to sleep
Yeah.
with. Well, can I show you what I'm wearing?
Yeah, but that's it. Could you just vote? What color shirt should I wear this way?
Yes. You could also do yellow or orange.
I would not do yellow. If I could find the right orange, I would do that possibly. So
Yeah.
feel free to vote.
Okay, there you go.
What are you wearing?
I am wearing a clapo tee that I made many years ago. And this is out of Blue Heron Yarns. And I love this. This is, Mom wore her, was it Aragorn that you made out of your Blue Heron Yarns?
I think it was Arwen.
Arwen? That's right, it was the Arwen.
By
Arwen.
Tabitha Knits.
Yes, Tabithas Heart.
She's my friend. I don't remember her real name.
We do love you, Tabitha.
It's Tabitha's Heart. It's Tabitha, people.
Just call her Tabby. Get over it. Tabby.
She'd love that.
She would. Totally. Making up new names for my friends every day. So this is the clapo tee pattern. It is such an old pattern. A million people have knitted it, and it's a very fun pattern, which you knit, here's the end, you knit on the bias, and then you get to drop the stitches, which is fun. And this was a yarn that was a, what is it? It was like a vacation yarn that we got from Black Sheep Yarn Shop in Encinitas, California. We were back visiting family, and
Such a fun trip.
I wish that you could feel this. I wish that you could.
Let me feel it.
Because, here, can you feel it?
Here, I'm going to help. This is you.
Oh.
Yeah, it is fabulous.
It is
very drapey.
It is very drapey. It is so soft. And I will link in the show notes to the yarn so that you can actually see the fiber content, because I don't remember off the top of my head. But, so I had one skein of it, very large skeins, very large put up of yardage in these skeins. So I'm going to stand up because I want you to see. I have it looped around me, okay? And then look at, it keeps going and going and going. I am 5'6". I can stand up and reach up with, holding onto the yarn. Can you see my arm? Reach up, and it'll still fall about 3 feet. So I'm guessing it's probably at least 9 feet long.
Wow.
It is huge.
You could do 2 loops around here.
I could, if I wanted smaller loops, I could. Mm-hmm. Let's see how we can make this different.
While she's doing that, we have a thread for patterns that can be both knitted and crocheted, and I had come across a crocheted version of the clapo tee. I think it's called the clapochet.
Oh, well, that's a great name.
It is a great name.
Yes. So anyways, that's what I'm wearing. Oh, please don't fall off. Just one. We're good. Saved it. So let's talk about gooseberries. Gooseberries are our tasty weekly chit-chat, just little things that happened this week that we would love to share with you.
Yes.
Go for it, Mom.
I was just thinking this week how much I love living with my daughter's family, with my lovely grandchildren. And so fun because they think I can do anything, I think.
They really do. My kids are pretty sure that you are capable of doing just about everything.
Well, my husband now, I think, has become known as the king of glue because anything that's broken and needs gluing gets brought up to him.
Yes.
And Evan came up the other night as we were already in bed, the lights off and everything, and he carts a dining room chair upstairs. The 4-year-old.
I think he took the elevator.
Oh, did he?
He did.
We put him in the elevator in the house because my mom was supposed to live with me, who has a issue with walking, and she, after we put it in, decided that she didn't want to live with me. Brianne can explain why she doesn't want to live with me.
We'll talk about that later. That's a whole other subject.
But anyway, so he brought the chair up, and it was so cute because he goes, after he brings it up, he's knocking on the door, and we're like, what's going on? And I can hear him from around the corner go, hey, Poppy, can you glue this chair? And then Poppy goes, yes. And he goes, hey, Poppy, how about these muscles? Such a character.
He is. He's so funny.
But it was, they think that I can do anything with crochet.
Right.
So I get so many cute orders with they bring up little stuffies. And they say, can you make a whatever?
Right.
And so this week, it was all about making hats for their stuffies. And Owen in particular wanted the ears to stick out of the hat. So anyway, this is a visual example of what I was busy doing. And it warmed my heart because, not too many other people in life think that you can just do anything.
True.
They're more realistic and she really can't do everything. But grandkids, little people, even if you don't have grandkids, little people in your life, everyone should have some in their life.
Oh, yeah.
Because it feels fabulous to have somebody come to you with sweet little innocent eyes and say, can you do this? Can you knit a new heart for my puppy? And somehow you figure it out.
Exactly.
So anyway, that's what I was doing this week, and it just made my heart feel, I felt so good, and I thought, oh man, everybody needs to feel like this.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
It's great.
Well, my gooseberry for the week was a conversation that we had with Evan in bed. Evan is the 4-year-old, and he still sleeps with us. Sometimes he goes into his own bed first, and then he comes in the middle of the night. But, sometimes he just starts off with us because we're just too tired to try and wrangle him into his own bed. But anyways, he was telling me about about his Sunday school class, and he said, Mama, Addie Blaine told me that she was the most beautiful girl in the world. And I said, well, that's wonderful. He goes, but she's not. And I said, well, I bet her mommy and daddy thinks that she's the most beautiful girl in the world. And he goes, no, they don't. No. And I said, well, who do you think is the most beautiful girl in the world? He looks and he goes, you. Which just about made me cry. It was so precious. And who doesn't want to hear that,
So I felt like Wonder Woman, like I was smart, and you got to feel like...
I got to feel like, Miss Universe.
Yeah.
But, we were trying to explain to him later that, every mom and dad think their kids are the most smart kids in the world, or the most handsome or beautiful kids in the world, or the most wonderful kids in the world. And, I want him to, learn that, but, for that moment of, it was such bliss. It just made my heart just overflow with love, and this kid is going to make a fantastic husband, because the things that he says, like, oh, Mama, you're such a good cook. And I'm like, why, thank you. So we just need to keep on training him like this, and he'll be good.
I hope that the people who watch our podcast, when we tell them they are knitworthy, I hope they feel that sense of that they're special to us.
Absolutely.
Everyone needs to feel like someone thinks they're wonderful.
Definitely.
And you know what? We're glad that you watch us every week. And so you really are that important and that wonderful to us.
Yes. Although I think we'd still podcast even if hardly anybody watched it, because we have so much fun.
We do.
Yeah.
And it gives a reason for knitting.
Not that we need a whole lot of reason. No. So, Mom,
yes.
What are you knitting?
I am still working out of my Sylvia share bag.
So cute. And did you end up buying the other one that's London?
I didn't get a chance to get back there.
Okay.
And so I thought, or maybe I got back there and it wasn't there.
Sylvia, I was looking on your website, And
Did you
you
find
had
it?
like, no, but, well, when I was looking, yes, I did see it, but it was a few days ago. There were like 3 bags on there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the one with the birds and the bird houses. Oh, the one with the little
Yeah.
socks. Oh, I was like, It was, yes.
And
too
they-
cute.
And am I wrong? But did I see she might be doing some different styles now too?
One of them looked like a wedge bag.
It did, didn't it?
Yes, that was the one with the socks.
So she does a very nice job on her bags.
She
and
does.
I am finding, I love it. I've been using like exclusively for my socks.
Awesome.
Oh, guess what?
What?
I was gonna say I'm a hoe. That's not it. How about this is a hoe? Oopsie.
There's a really big difference between I'm a hoe and I've got a hoe.
I always get this close, don't I?
You do.
It's just that the first thing that comes to my mind is always the one that's not right. But I finished my first sock, and I don't know if I was done with my heel or not last time. You guys might remember, but I did want to point out I finally figured out why my fish lips kiss heel wasn't doing right last time when I made my last pair of socks, and they looked all holy.
And so what did you do?
Well, I was just forgetting one step.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes a whole difference. You have to actually do it the way they write it, or else it doesn't work.
What? What is this craziness?
Go back and refresh your memory, people. Yeah, so it turned out beautifully. And I was like, once I saw it, oh, geez, why did I forget that? But I'm now into the toe of, I just threw it off my lap.
She's throwing things. It's very violent around here today.
It is. So yeah, this far on my second sock. I just wish you could see, even when I turn off the light, it doesn't turn out as warm looking. It looks more grayed, but it's actually a lovely green.
It is.
I want people to catch a vision for it. Does it look better against you?
You think
Still-
it gets lost?
Still looks great.
Yeah. What about against the white?
A little better.
Mm.
Anyway, everyone should get this yarn that I can't remember the name of. But
It's crocodile. I don't remember what yarn company makes it, but I do know that it's crocodile.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm working on.
Yay.
Oh, I did want to talk about what I'm going to be working on.
You do?
I think I do. If I've got it written down, I definitely do. Is it on here?
No. It says starting the ...
All right. It's the shawl that has the wedges of color. I'm sure all of you remember everything I say.
Is it the color affection?
No, I think it's. I'm not sure if it's nostalgia.
Oh, yes. I remember you talking about that.
I think it is. But tune in next week because I'll have it on the needles and I'll have it written down. I went to go look it up and I got distracted. Squirrel! So anyway, I have my yarn. I haven't got it caked up or else I would have cast on for it.
Mhm.
But I'm excited to start it. That's the one that is using the Julie Spins yarn and the one that in the color Raisin.
Oh, yeah.
And then the second color, I went back and re-chose based on some listener feedback. And so I'm excited to start it.
Yay.
I think it's going to be a little challenging for me. But
You can do it.
yeah, after this, I'm sure nothing will go wrong. But I'll have fun.
It's all good.
Yep.
Is that it for you?
That's it. It was, it was finishing some things. And I decided I was, though I am definitely still on a neckwear binge, I decided to take a little break and I worked on some other projects in between.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, then I guess it's my turn. I am knitting on the flax sweater for Owen, who is my 11-year-old. Well, he'll be 11 next month. 11. Oh my goodness. So this is my Camp Loopy project for project number 3, which is to use at least 800 yards. I'm going to use a lot more than that. And I'm going to be honest with you.
Why, as opposed to you normally lie to them?
I
Because I
do.
want to clarify that.
A lot.
Do you really?
No. So this is, let me show you the sweater first. This is the flax sweater. I'm going to hold it to me, even though it's not for me. But as you can see, I have put in, it's a top-down raglan shaped sweater, and it has a little garter detailing going down the top of the shoulder and down the arm, which I think is, it's a really simple pattern. as far as construction, but I like the little detail there. You know, it makes it not quite so plain, and I really like it. And this is by Tin Can Knits. I forgot to say that. So I have separated the sleeves from the yoke, and now I have about an inch done on the body of the sweater. So that's good.
So what is the part you don't like?
Here's the thing. So, and I'm gonna tie this into my Are You Kidding Me? Because I don't see that you have an Are You Kidding Me for this week. Well, yeah, we already talked about that though. So, my Are You Kidding Me is the yarn that I'm using is Cascade 220 Superwash, and I did a swatch, and then if you remember, I was going to use Mom and Dad's washing machine and dryer to do my swatches. Are you going to
blame this problem on
No, not at all.
It's always the parents' fault.
It is. I'll be in therapy for years about this. But I washed it and dried it according to the instructions. Yay. And I'm going to show you why it's really important not just to swatch, but to wash your swatch when you're doing a large project. So here is what my swatch ended up looking like. And I know it's a little bit difficult to see, but it really turned out a little bit felty, and which is not the look that I want to go for.
Which is better?
I don't know. Go ahead and turn it back on. It's okay. Not the look that I wanted to go for. The stitch definition is not there anymore, and it looks like it's been worn about 100 times. And you know, you don't really want that for a new sweater, so I decided, okay, I guess I'll just be washing this by hand. Totally okay with that. But for a yarn that's labeled for superwash, that's kind of disappointing. So I did.
It kind of looks already like you've worn it a lot.
Yeah.
And it's just one washing.
Yeah. And so I really wanted to be able to have a sweater that Owen could just toss in with his other clothes, and I could wash it with everything else and it would be okay, which is actually how I washed the swatch. I washed it with a load of laundry. And the reason I did it in your washer and dryer as opposed to mine is that in my washer and dryer downstairs, the hot and the cold things are switched, and so it always rinses in hot water instead of with cold water. So I didn't want to accidentally felt it, but it ended up not looking good anyway. So I did a second swatch, and I did this one in the round because the sweater is knit in the round, and I wanted to make sure I got a really good gauge because I didn't want to have to swatch again. So it's kind of like doing a sleeve, but so I'm knitting this on size 7 needles, and I got 18 stitches to the inch. 18? I don't know. It's in my project notes on Ravelry. But in any case, so I needed to get Owen into the 43-inch size. With my gauge, I had Brian do all the crazy math, because if you have a math lover like Brian is, who took calculus more than once in college just because he loves it. That's so not me. I can't remember my 7 times tables, and he can do, like, you know, mortgage things in his head. It's crazy. How do we end up together? I don't know, but it's a good thing. But anyways, so I have to knit the 51-inch size in order to get Owen what'll end up being like a 44-inch sweater. 51 inches. That's quite a difference. So there's the 43-inch, the 47-inch, the 51-inch. That's the size that they had.
Okay.
So I had to go up 2 sizes. That's like knitting a sweater for me. So I don't think that I can do this. I don't think that I can do this in a month. I know that I can knit the sweater, but I don't think that I'm going to try to accomplish this for Camp Loopy. And here's why. Because I love knitting on the sweater, and I love my kid. And if you follow me on Instagram, or if you've seen any of the pictures that I've put up on Ravelry, he loves this sweater. And I don't want to look at this sweater and think about how frustrated I was when I was knitting it. And so instead of putting a lot of pressure on myself, I'm just going to take my time and not stress about it because, I knit because I love it, and I knit because it relaxes me and it makes me feel good, and, because I enjoy the process of it. And when you put that much pressure on yourself, some people really thrive under those conditions, and I don't. And so I'm going to make a healthy choice for myself and decide that I'm not going to do Project 3. I'm not going to try and finish it by the end of August.
I feel like you're breaking up with Camp Loopy.
I'm not.
Will you have to go to Camp Loopy jail?
No, not at all.
Okay.
The prize at the end is if you have ordered all of your yarn from the Loopy You, and if you have knitted the project in the amount of time and gotten your picture to the Loopy You in time, then at the end, then you get to get a skein of yarn for free.
That's wonderful.
I can buy a skein of yarn for myself when I finish the sweater as my own.
There you go. As my own reward,
and so I'm going to do that. And
you're a rebel.
I am a rebel, but
you sound like you're feeling bad about it.
I feel.
Do you feel like a quitter?
I feel disappointed just because it hasn't worked out the way I had hoped. I knew it was going to be a challenge anyways because I had to buy 1,400 yards of yarn just to knit a worsted. Yeah, a worsted.
That is like knitting a sweater for us.
It is. Mm-hmm. Well, it was supposed to be a worsted weight, but it's a light worsted actually by the gauge. If you go by the gauge of the yarn, it's a light worsted.
Okay.
But on Ravelry, it's listed as worsted, and on the Loopy You, it's listed as worsted, but it's not.
Okay.
So it's kind of, it was just disappointing. In order to knit the full sweater, I will have to buy several more skeins of yarn in order to complete it.
Yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes.
It is. And you know what? I don't blame anyone else for it. I chose to knit a large sweater, for my 11-year-old son and try to do it in a month. And so I'm not blaming anyone else for my decisions. But it's also my decision whether or not I want to continue to try to, finish it up. So I'm making a healthy choice for me.
Excellent, and I don't think anyone will fault you for that.
No. So that covered what we're knitting, and that covered, are you kidding me? So anyways, that my suggestion to you for this, that if you have learned nothing from what I have gone through here, is number one, please swatch for big projects, especially for things that you're going to be wearing, like sweaters, or things like that. Please swatch, and please wash your swatch because you have no idea what it will do, how it will grow and how it will dry. Don't just lay it out wet, but actually wait for it to dry to see what your gauge is going to end up being because gauge is important.
It is.
All right, so let's talk about what you finished because I haven't finished anything.
Okay, should we gild the lily first?
If you would like to.
Let's just do that.
Okay.
It's next on the list to make you feel better.
Well, actually next on the list is what came off the needles.
Well, then let's do what came off the needles.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Well, I decided, as I told you, I decided to take a break.
Yes.
And I wanted to do some mindless knitting and, well, actually it wasn't completely mindless because it was a new pattern to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a love for dishcloths.
Yes, you do.
Actually, I like to call them dish rags. That's how I grew up. Dish rags.
Dish rags.
But these aren't rags.
No.
So I did 2 different patterns. And this one, can you point to me? Where are we?
I think that's, no, this one right here.
Oh yeah, scrubby dots.
Ooh, those are cute.
Okay, I happen to have some gold Lion brand cotton, and I had black Lion brand cotton. I love putting these 2 colors together, and it may not be everybody's favorite, but it's kind of a country French look to me.
Yeah.
So it's fun. I love Lion brand cotton out of all of the dishcloth cottons because it is a little nicer looking.
Mm-hmm.
But all dishcloth cottons end up not washing so great.
Yes.
So I am on the lookout for some alternative for dish rags.
Okay.
I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, let me know.
Like a yarn for dish rags?
I would, yes.
Okay.
Because I would like something that when I make it and it looks all cute, it stays cute by the second or third wash.
Yes.
But these are meant to be like little, you can use them for scrubbing, like if you're going to scrub a sink, I suppose, but I'm going to use them for washing my face.
Ooh.
But I'm
Also dainty.
Isn't it cute?
Yes.
Doesn't look like you get under your eyes and that kind of thing
Yeah.
really easy. But I love the pattern, and it's using the front post stitch, which I've used before. It's a fun stitch where instead of going in the top of a crochet stitch, you go into the side. And they have a really nice texture to them. I'm going to show Brianne so she can tell you. It's not like a... I don't know. They would be good for scrubbing, I'm sure. But I think they might exfoliate a little bit without being harsh.
Yes.
So I like that. But the thing I did for you is it always bugs me if something doesn't look nice after it's washed. I know I got a rant here about washing, but I decided to wash one. And I wanted to show you. I'll get one that's similar so that you can see the difference after it's been washed. It's a little bit smaller, and it's been dried in the dryer. But I wanted to see, does it get rumply? Because I've had a few dishcloth patterns I've done when they come out of the dryer. They're like a thing like this, and you've got to try and straighten them out. That's too much work. So this one actually dried fairly nicely. The pattern tends to curl around this edge.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't mind the curl, you can see what it's doing right there. Then, fun pattern. And I thought, what a great pattern this would be for a Christmas gift or a thank you gift for somebody.
Definitely.
I was thinking, either just tied with a pretty ribbon or if you could find some sort of cute little basket, wouldn't that be fun to even have by your sink so you could just grab one when you're ready to do your facial care at night and stuff.
So cute.
So scrubby dots, they're fun, and they actually make them in adorable bright colors. If you're a bright color person, go for it.
I know.
Super fun.
Knit Picks has a dishcloth cotton,
and I haven't tried that, so that might be the next thing to try.
Mm-hmm.
But the even Lion brand cotton will fade after a wash or two, and it'll be less appealing. But I loved it. So
now I haven't seen Lion brand cotton like at our Michaels or where do you buy yours?
I usually have to order it. I originally found it I think it was at a Joann's, maybe up in Ohio when we were visiting Heather.
Yeah, and you brought me back some fun colors.
Yeah. So it was the first time I had seen it, and actually it's a nice, good sized roll skein of it. We're rolling yarn
it's a roll of yarn.
It's a flock of yarn. So anyway, scrubby dots. I think I'm liking them.
Well, that's good.
And I'll report back if I decide I don't like them after I use them and stuff.
I'd be interested to see how you like them for use on your face.
Yes, and I would like to say that I actually, on the one that I did as my test, I did actually scrub a sink with it. It's quite handy. Like if you've got a little bit of an abrasive and you want to get in there and really get at it.
Like Comet or Bartender's Friend or whatever it is.
Yes, and it looked great, so it really got a good workout, and then I put it in. So anyway, that was a wonderful thing.
Yay!
So I did, I've been going through I've told Brianne already, but I've been going through my favorites, and I've been going through my queue. I had, also like my Etsy cart that has a bazillion, at the maximum amount of things you can have.
Tell them what you got it down to. Your Etsy cart.
I forgot. What did I
You were at like 99. You got it down to like 40.
Yeah. I know. I'm amazing.
Oh my gosh. She's pulling things left and right.
Yeah. I know I had like over 2,000 favorites because I never purged any of my favorites.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's just going to get so unwieldy that it won't really be useful to me.
Right.
And, it's been forever that I've been doing it, and I've evolved as a knitter. So it was really fun, actually, because some of the things I still loved.
Yeah.
So that's probably a good sign of a pattern I should knit.
Definitely.
And some of them I go, I would never knit that. I mean, they were gorgeous patterns, but I'm like, I know myself enough now to know if it's a really intricate lace pattern, I might get it cast on, but I'm never going to finish it.
Row 1. Ah!
Yeah. So, I might at some point decide I want to add a bunch of patterny stuff to my queue, but for now, no. But what I did find, I thought, I usually keep dishcloth cotton on hand for times like this when I want a little break. And so I looked for a new dish rag pattern.
Oh, is that it right there?
It is.
I love it. It's flowers.
Flower power. I think that's what it's called. Is it flower power? Yeah.
You remembered.
Crochet. And I think they're adorable.
They're so cute.
Some of you may remember there is a knitted version of a flowered dishcloth.
Is there?
There is. And I don't remember what it's called, but it's really pretty.
Okay.
I have knitted that one, and it was a bit too fiddly for me. I'm not sure if I'm remembering right, but it's like having to do all the different petals separately. And
oh, I think I remember you making those before.
Yeah, I made a couple of them, but I just decided they're not fun for me. And a dish rag's got to be fun, or else why do it, to me. So these, what I love about them is, for one thing, they are just about the size of your hand.
That is a good size.
Okay, a good size for wiping down something or drying your hands.
Yes.
And the other thing I love about it, they are crochet, and they are very simple. It's just a matter of a few rows. The shaping of the petals, not hard at all. And I whipped out 4 of these in one night.
Seriously? That's quick.
Well, maybe it was an afternoon and a night. Okay, but
well, still,
that's a lot. I mean, that surprised even me.
Yeah.
Maybe I whipped out 2.
But so I actually knit one, and it took me a week. But whatever.
Well, I did the same thing though. I used one to wash something up, and then I put it in the washer, and you can see that it just shrinked. What is the past tense of shrink? It shrank. It shrank just a little bit.
Yes.
Not bad at all.
No.
And look, it's laying fairly flat.
What? That's good.
Now in my drawer where I keep my dish rags, I would just pile these up. Okay. And look at how nice they look, and you don't need to fold them. The other flower powers were bigger.
Yeah.
Or the other flower washcloths were bigger, and so you had to fold them. They didn't look nice.
Right.
But wouldn't a drawer full of these?
Adorable.
Yes. And wouldn't it be a fun gift?
It would be. You know who would love that?
Who?
Ailish.
Oh, she would.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you can imagine all the different color combinations that you could do. There'd be so many.
Yeah.
But I love them. And you know what? John said, "Those are cute."
What?
I know.
Wow.
Commented on the crocheting.
That's
so
impressive.
Yeah, I loved it. Flower power. And
Flower power.
It was happy knit.
Yay.
Crochet.
It's a crochet.
May I say, we are doing this really bright and early in the morning because we have appointments today. So
yes,
I need to drink more coffee before I do this.
I haven't had any caffeine, and so that's part of the reason why I'm yawning. It is fairly early.
Yes.
All right, so now let's talk about your spinning, because I see that you have some, and I'm very excited to see how this is going.
I do. I've done what I did was, this time I decided to split the roving in half and do 2. I let Brie know and let her choose. I decided to do the sock yarn as 2 separate bobbins, so she'll have one for one sock and one for the other. She won't have to weigh them out or anything. But first of all, I think it's fingering, isn't it?
That looks great.
So, and then I just love I'm thinking this is closer to showing you what I love about this yarn, which is the shading that we're getting.
Let me turn off this light.
Yeah, let's try that. We found a second light. What?
It was like up in Dad's office where we record. And Mom was like, "What is that over there?"
I mean, I'm the only one that would buy something like that. I never remember buying a second light, but we found one, so now Brianne's other side of her face can be lit, which is nice. But I think this is going to be quite lovely as a sock. It looks a little bit like Icelandic wool with the grays and the blues and the cream, but it's super.
Hold it like that again, where it was up, and let me see if.
Yeah, there's light coming in. The morning light.
There you go.
Oh, that's good. This is a look.
Shall we dance? We shall.
Okay. Anyway, I love it. I just need to ply the other one. I'm doing Navajo plying.
Beautiful.
But isn't it pretty?
Yes. You know, I want to be able
subtle.
to use like as much of that as I can. So I plan on doing toe-up socks so that I can like, you know, just keep on knitting until I'm done with it.
Great idea.
Because I think that was so gorgeous.
Yeah, I love it.
Yay!
It doesn't look like very much, so I'm hoping. I mean, we'll see. I'll be able to count yardage for you and let you know.
Oh, good.
So next time I'll hopefully have the other one plied and you can see.
Yay! All right.
Shall we light?
Yes, we shall. We shall. So now we're going to talk about Gilding the Lily.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I love Sampler Girl.
I do too.
Yeah. She's got the sweetest voice.
Yes.
And I don't... This is my kid's shot record.
What the heck?
Oopsie. Well, here's when they had their shots.
Here's the MMR. And let me tell you about that.
Okay.
I have to say, that was hilarious.
Wait a minute. That's not it. Hey, a perfect carrier for the kids' shop.
Oh, there you go. You can always have it with you now.
Yes. Look at how adorable this is. This is from the Sampler Girl. And she sold out of these babies quick. I just love the vintage look of this.
Yes.
And I don't know if you've ever been to her, if you haven't had a chance to take a look at her Etsy store.
I have.
She does amazing patterns.
She does.
And she actually, I know a lot of people have gotten back into, you know, Diane from Knittables. She kind of started doing the cross-stitch and stuff again, but I wasn't lured into it until I saw Sampler Girl stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it is fun and just so the kind of thing I love to do. So
Yeah.
I'm contemplating what I shall begin there. But anyway, she had these darling little bags up, and they didn't last very long at all. Let me show her card. Brianne,
Yes.
I think I need yours off too.
Oh, okay.
Nope, it's still just kind of funny. But anyway, there it is. She has a podcast. If you haven't heard her, she loves to read and she watches movies and stuff too. She's from Virginia, where Heather's from. There you go. And she has a theme song that is so endearing. I thought it was her. The lady's
really?
voice is so beautiful, and I thought, I bet that she sings.
Yeah.
But no, I guess it was someone famous that I just didn't know.
So you got that, and then
Yes, I got this because I wanted to use it for a notions pouch. Now, when I saw it, I'm thinking I might use it in my purse so I can have it more often.
Yeah.
I love it. But I also got one for a contest, a future contest, which we have yet to announce.
I'm gonna leave it
It's
in the
works.
I'm gonna leave it in the bag. Keep calm and knit on, people. I love.
Isn't that neat?
That's so cute. I love the bright orange too.
I had a hard time when I actually got them here.
Yeah.
I had a hard time because I was like, I like them both.
Yeah.
But I promised myself one would be a gift, so
I got a gift for you. Yay! And then she was so kind as to send one for me too. So sorry for the crinkling. But this one is blue, which is, of course, one of my favorite colors.
Isn't that neat? Now that's a bigger size.
It is a bigger size.
That would be great for crochet hooks or
Yes.
like writing utensils or notions.
Yeah.
Or,
And you know, honestly, like my crochet hooks, because I don't use them very often, but I have quite a few of them, they're in a plastic baggie, kind of like smaller than this. It's like a sandwich size baggie, so this will probably be a perfect place to keep them.
it would be great.
Yeah.
Would it fit DPNs?
Yes, but I have a DPN holder.
But
So
they might not. You know, this is more than just about you, Bria.
oh, yes. I'm being reminded of that quite often by my 10-year-old. The
Oh,
world
really?
does not revolve around you, Mom. I'm like, I asked you to pick up 5 things. What?
Yeah.
But anyways,
How is it that we still have confetti?
it was. I'm not throwing it again. 'Cause
Okay, I don't
it's
want
a
to clean it
pain.
up.
No, we're done with that.
Mhm.
Yeah, we still have confetti. I had some left in the bag, and this I put
Okay.
it in my podcasting bag. But yeah,
Okay, did you
I
build
gilded
any
the
more
lily
lilies?
too. Yes, my lily was gilded. The first thing is that I won a contest.
Come on.
I know, from Hot Pink Socks Reviews.
You're a winner.
I won. And I like this yarn. I'm going to show you the yarn first because it's very pretty. It's purple, but there's you can kind of see like these little itty bits where it just has a little bit of pink.
Yes, it's a tonal look. It's really pretty.
It is. And so this is from Your Mom Knits. Or as I like to say, Your Mom Knits. Mm-hmm. I show that to my husband, and he immediately goes, Your Mom Knits. And I'm like, yes, she does.
We do your mom jokes all the time.
Yeah.
But I do them to Brianne, and then it kind of backfires.
That's right. Uh-huh. Yeah. She's not quite gotten this down yet.
I'm just wondering how this looks.
That looks very pretty.
Mm-hmm. I think I might have to do a purple thing in my future.
Yes. This is Your Mom Knits in the Octo Sport, which is 100% superwash merino, 270 yards. That's 100 grams. And it's in the jellyfish colorway. So there you go.
Love
and
it.
I won that. Also came with a very fun measuring tape that was like this exact same color. Has already been put into use. Some stitch markers and a bag that Ailish is currently sporting around that has octopi, I should say, with jaunty berets and mustaches.
Fun.
Yes.
I was really disappointed because
You didn't win?
Yes. I went to Hot Pink Socks Reviews and somehow I missed the Malabrigo Lace contest.
Oh,
And it was gorgeous. And I thought I could have used that.
Who couldn't?
And somehow I missed that one. I don't know. I need to set an alarm on my phone or something to remind me to check.
Yeah.
Or insist that she call me every time there's a new one.
That'll totally happen. So if you haven't seen her group, it's Stephanie from Hot Pink Socks, and it's Hot Pink Socks Reviews. And she does a review of a product, a knitting related product, every week. And so I would totally recommend that you go over there because sometimes she even has things to give away, and then you can enter to win. And
at the very, everybody loves winning something, but at the very least, you get a review on something that's fabulous.
Absolutely, and I've
always
learned,
interesting.
Yeah, and I've found several things that I've really, was like, wow, I did not know that was out there.
Mm-hmm.
So good to know.
It is good.
And then I happened to find some yarn that
happened. It's not like you stumbled upon it. I bet you were looking for yarn and you found it. So
I accidentally typed in self-striping sock yarn on Etsy. My finger slipped, and then I pressed search, and
there's probably an OSHA warning for that. Hazardous behavior.
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. This is from Turtle Made, and this is 20% superwash merino. No, that's not right.
Hey, she's in our group.
She is. She's just became a part of our group. This is her power sock yarn. 410 yards of self-striping, and this is in the berries colorway. And I think this is so gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit more purple than I thought it was going to be, but I am loving it. And
there's some pinks that aren't showing up as much on the screen, but in person,
it's
a very warm and happy color.
Yes, it is. I'm going to undo it for you so you can see, because I think that is just going to be so much fun.
Pretty.
Yes. And I realized I don't think I have any socks in my sock drawer that are like this color.
I'm pretty sure I don't too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know someone. I know, but I know someone who will make some for you. Go onto her shop. It's Turtle Made on Etsy, and let's see. I have a note she sent me because she's hilarious. She was like, she wanted to get it out like that same day when I placed the order. So she says hello to you, by the way.
Oh,
yes. So she said, I'm sending you Summertime Madness, a gradient 2 at a time, color shifting yarn to give away if you get good feedback from your audience. Okay. Number 1, I want this yarn. So, but I can't keep it.
Oh, I should let that off. Let's try again.
Yeah, I'm going to turn mine off too. Okay, look at that. Now, It's not showing up as well. It's not, because that looks like a melony orange, like melon colored, and it really is more of like a citrusy orange. And it's a very, like a darker kind of lemon yellow.
How do you describe that? It looks more washed, it looks like washed out on the screen. That's better, maybe. But it's richer in person.
It is. And this is, and look how cute it's wrapped up.
Adorable.
Yes. And so this is There and Back Again Gradient in her Summertime Madness colorway in the Sock Love base.
This
460 yards.
A good price to go with this one.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's okay. And she also sent us some stitch markers. And these are very special stitch markers because they are specifically for 0 to 4 size US needles.
Perfect for socks.
Perfect for socks. And so I just want to say a huge thank you, huge thank you to Miss Jen of Turtle Knits, or Turtle Made, because that was very kind of her to send us something to give away.
That was really nice, and I hope that no one tries to get in that contest, because I think that if there are no entries, that they default to me.
Is that really the way it works?
No.
Mm-mm. And we're talking right now about another giveaway that we want to do. And so
I have so many ideas for giveaways, and I'm really excited about them because they're going to be really fun.
And luckily, we're getting things in from people who want to give away their things, and I can't wait. I think, it's going to be good.
It is going to be good.
Yes.
Well, when it's here, we'll talk about it more.
Yes, for sure.
Things are coming.
Good things.
I'm excited about it.
Speaking of good things.
Yes.
Are we going to talk about It's a Good Thing?
You know, my good thing is you this week.
Oh.
Why don't you tell me what your good thing is?
Well, Sylvia Share, who is Sylvia on Ravelry, asked me several weeks.
This Sylvia Share.
Yes, asked me several weeks ago about my daughter Eilish, and Eilish is a very unique name, and she wanted to know how Eilish got her name, and it's a very special story for us. I'm going to go ahead and say some people are very sensitive to certain subjects, and if you are someone who is very sensitive about miscarriages, then perhaps this may not be a good story for you. And so if you would like to fast forward, please feel free. I'm totally very, very aware that not everybody is comfortable with that. So anyways, I'm going to tell you the story now. So Eilish is my second child, and she was my 5th pregnancy. We had a miscarriage before we had Owen. We had 2 miscarriages after we had Owen. And I got pregnant with Eilish about a year after my 3rd miscarriage. And I was not ready to be pregnant again, just not emotionally ready. And it was a very, very difficult thing for me to accept that I was pregnant. And even made it more difficult by the fact that I had a very complicated pregnancy with her. I had a lot of bleeding for like the first 14 weeks that I was pregnant with her, and we had several runs to the emergency room to see, if we still had a heartbeat. And those were not fun times. That was a really, really difficult time for the whole family because we were really wanting to have another baby. And but Eilish stuck in there, and we were just amazed, that after everything that she was still around. And I was about 9 weeks pregnant, and my dad called me one morning, and he said, I just want to let you know that I was praying this morning, and God told me that everything's going to be fine, and that you're going to have a girl. And, Dad is the one who told Mom that she was pregnant because he had been praying, and God told Dad that Mom was pregnant with Isaac.
Yeah, he called to say he had been on his way to work and had been just kind of having his prayer time in the car, and that God had told him I was pregnant. I'm going,
And so, and she was, and you found out.
I was,
Yeah.
And I said, you totally psyched me into thinking I'm pregnant. I started having symptoms, and it was like, what?
Yeah.
It was like...
It was before you were even able to take a test that Dad told you that you were pregnant.
Yeah.
And so when Dad...
Like a week later, I took a test, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah. And when God... So when Dad calls you, when Dad calls you and says, hey, you're pregnant, and, or... God told me that you're going to have this baby and everything's going to be fine and it's a girl, then...
And he's so just your normal, average, super friendly people person.
Oh, yeah.
And so he's not like some mystical guru that goes into a tent. And,
no, definitely not.
So, it's caught me by surprise a few times that's happened.
Yeah.
But, it's wonderful, I think.
It is. And so we went in... we were going to be going in at 20 weeks to have our ultrasound to find out if we were having a boy or girl, and the anatomy scan and everything. And a few weeks before that, I had a dream, and I was having the baby, and the doctor lifted her up and said, "It's a girl," and set the baby on my chest. And I just looked at her, and I said, "Oh, hello, Eilish Grace. We're so glad you're here. Welcome to our family." And I woke up. And I wrote down the name. And because in our family, we believe that names are powerful things, that they have special meaning. And I love my name because it has special meaning. And, all of our kids' names have been picked.
And not like you become, like if you named your child Wonder Woman, that she would become
Right.
Wonder Woman.
No.
But the idea that each human being deserves to have a name that was thought about and precious to the person who named you, so that it is just as precious as you are.
Absolutely. So when my husband woke up, I said, "I think I know what we're supposed to name our baby if it's a girl." And he said, "Well, would you like to share it with me?" And I said, "Sure."
Can I be part of this?
So I told him, I said, "I think her name is Eilish Grace." And he was like, "Well, what does it mean?" So we started looking it up.
Had you ever heard the name before?
I had never heard the name before, not ever. And we looked it up online, and the very first place that we looked, it said it was a Celtic form of Elizabeth, and it means God's promise. And as soon as we saw that, we said, that is her name. Yeah. That is the name of our girl. And at 25 weeks, I had a horrible car accident where my car was totaled, and I ended up in the hospital overnight because they were really concerned about the baby. And, she was a trooper. They were really very, very watchful of her because they were concerned I was going to go into labor with her, or, that they were going to have issues with the placenta. And she was just fine. I had issues, but she was just fine.
Yeah.
But, so that's how Eilish got her name. And Eilish is, she is wonderful. And so that is how...
That's a neat story.
It's a story that is very precious to my heart, and she loves to hear the story of how she got her name. She goes, "Mama, will you tell me the story of how I got my name?" And I said, "Of course I will, and I'll tell her." And, it's just, I think, it's just,
yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I think that's neat.
Yes, and so I think...
Well, you know what?
For right now, but you want to tell us about?
I do. I always want to get in my little plug for the postcards.
Yes.
From the Ozarks, and that was my 2:00 in the morning text to Brianne.
Yes.
So my son's girlfriend sends me pictures of where she was yesterday, and it was at I'm not going to remember the name of the park, but it'll be in the postcard.
Yes.
And it was on Glade Top Trail, which is a scenic route or a scenic trail in Missouri.
Yes.
So I started looking up. I go, well, those pictures are beautiful, but I like to give you a little bit more than just here is a pretty place from the Ozarks.
Right.
And so I start researching it, and I could not stop. It was so exciting
Yeah.
because this trail that is just like 30 miles from our house is like the only scenic route or scenic trail in Missouri.
Well, and that
It's shocking.
was astounding to me.
It was for me too.
Yeah.
And so there was so much that came up, and this is a hard segue from the beautiful, cute Ailish story to the bald knobbers. Okay, there is a show in town called the Bald Knobbers, which has a lot of comedy and country music. It's been
Right.
around forever. And so if you look up bald knobbers, you may find them. But the bald knobbers that I learned about were not nice people that sang country music.
No.
This was a time in our nation's history after the Civil War. I'm going to give you the brief synopsis to lure you in.
She's going to try and give you a brief synopsis.
20 minutes later. But it was a time of vigilante justice.
Yes.
And what it was the country was so torn apart, and the criminal justice system was very corrupt in many areas of the country, and our area was just one of them. But our bald knobbers became notorious as being the most violent of all the vigilante groups that there were in the nation at the time. They made national news. And so that's really not a proud part of our history, but it is part of where it tells you a little bit about what the area was like.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it was in the 1880s.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always relate things to when my grandmother was around, because she lived with us for a long time, born in 1909, so it would be her mother's generation, which just is mind-blowing to me. So I'm going to give you a little bit of history about the bald knobbers in the area, and the reason why it ties into this beautiful scenic trail in the park is that they would meet in these on these grassy knolls that the common public referred to as bald knobs. And so they didn't call themselves bald knobbers, but they were referred to in the press and by the public as bald knobbers because they chose these places to meet because they could see if people were spying on them.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, you're going to get a little bit of history. You're going to get to see lots of beautiful things.
Mm-hmm.
And that is this week's postcard from the Ozarks.
Dun-dun-dun. She did a brief synopsis. You did good.
Thanks.
Yes, you're welcome. Well, I can't believe we have finished another podcast.
Wasn't it fun?
It was fun.
I hope you thought it was fun.
I do too. Well, I hope you thought it was funner than she thought it was fun.
It's a competition now.
It is now. Mm-hmm. That's right.
It's not our next contest, though.
No, it's not. No. How fun do you think our podcast is? A scale of 1 to 10. No. Anyways, Mom,
Yes?
thanks for having fun.
Thanks for having fun with me.
We hope that you had fun, and
We do.
yeah, and just remember that you are knitworthy. Bye.
Bye.
So, chosen by God for this new life of love, dressed in the wardrobe God picked out for you. Compassion, kindness, humility, quiet strength, discipline. Be even-tempered, content with second place, quick to forgive an offense. Forgive as quickly as and completely as the master forgave you. And be regardless of what else you put on. Wear love. It's your basic, all-purpose garment. Never be without it. Colossians 3:12-14.
This week, our postcard from the Ozarks takes you to Glade Top Trail Scenic Drive in the Mark Twain National Forest. Glade Top Trail is about 30 miles east of where we live in Branson, Missouri. It is Missouri's only scenic national byway. The trail is 23 miles long and has 7 scenic overlooks, several picnic areas, and Canyon Lookout Tower, which the Forestry Service uses to watch over this treasure. Glade Top Trail is named for the glades found amid the forest in the area. Glades are clearings in the forest, and in the Ozarks they have shallow soil and limestone outcroppings. They are rich with prairie grass, flowers, and wildlife, including white-tailed deer and turkey. Glade Top Trail is also the home of an endangered species, the Bachman sparrow. The trees here are beautiful: dogwood, redbud, eastern red cedar, and oak. Visit Glade Top Trail in the spring and fall, and you'll be sure to enjoy a riot of color. Glade Top Trail was constructed by the Civilian Conservation Corps of the 1930s as part of President Roosevelt's New Deal that sought to provide public works jobs for citizens that were suffering through the Depression. The project included roads, picnic areas, and other improvements useful to visitors to the area. In a darker chapter of Ozarks history, Glade Top Trail is thought to have been one of the areas that might have hosted the clandestine meetings of the local vigilante group called the Baldknobbers. But the Baldknobbers weren't the only ones who looked to take justice into their own hands. In fact, there were numbers of vigilante groups that popped up around the country in response to the post-Civil War lawlessness of this time in our nation's history. The leader of the Baldknobbers was Nat Kinney, a 6-foot, 6-inch, 300-pound man who lived in Kirbyville, just a few miles from Branson. He started a church at the Oak Grove Schoolhouse. It's said he put the Bible on his homemade pulpit, then placed his 2 pistols on either side of it, and told people he had a plan to stop the lawlessness. He had a plan all right, and he knew how to get people interested in helping him implement it. There were soon more than 200 Baldknobbers dishing out vigilante justice in the 650 square miles that make up Taney County. Though they started with good intentions, wanting to bring law and order to a corrupt justice system, they eventually came to mete out a justice that was rash, violent, and often far worse than the crimes they sought to curtail. While they did hunt down and execute murderers, they also reportedly brought retribution upon those who spoke out against them, people they considered immoral, and even a few they just considered too ornery. The Baldknobbers' reign of terror lasted from 1883 through 1889. Their exploits were so egregious that they were chronicled in national news as the most violent vigilantes in the nation. Be sure to check out our show notes for a personal account of a local resident from this era. There you will also find links to more great information about Glade Top Scenic Trail and everything we talked about on today's episode. And that ends today's postcard from the Ozarks. Y'all come back!